So yeah, and then the last person, the third person that I want to talk about, who died, is my boy Ricky Durham. Ricky died on December 28th, 2022. A couple months after I found out Robert died. Um, I met Ricky through getting funds. Me and Ricky we was in San Marcos, man, where I went to school, where he went to school, and we had mutual friends, and so um, somehow either I convinced him or he convinced me, but somehow me and Ricky were roommates with two other individuals. Shout out my boy John, um, and shout out to our fourth roommate Adrian. But me and Ricky saw each other every day for like 3 4 years straight. We lived together three times, so 3 leases, so 3 years straight. We smoked together, we partied together. My phone um, screensaver is him and a bottle of Bacardi. Um, he used to buy plastic bottles, and I called them thottles, thought bottles, and he would get so mad. But it's just one of those things. Ricky liked quality. Ricky liked quantity. I like quality, and we were the perfect yin and yang, man. Um, I learned a lot from him. He learned a lot from me. And yeah, man, we was just getting money and partying together. And so for me, I hit rock bottom in high school when I was suspended for 10 days with a recommendation to be suspended for the rest of the year. Long story short, and shout out my mama, love her. Shout out my pops. The government called him my stepdad, but he ain't do half bad considering he ain't have no dad. To all the good step parents, I salute, because the first couple of years, them kids gonna be hella rude. Um, my mom was like, I'm not going to bat for you no more. I always cried wolf, but the one time I was right, and I'm not even going to talk about the conversation or the event that happened that got me in trouble. But the one time that I was right, it didn't matter because the last 9 times I was wrong. And that's life, man. You could cry 9 times, but if the 10th time you actually was hit first and you yelled, they're not going to listen to you. And so I got in trouble in school, and I found a lawyer online, and she took my case, and I went to the hearing that they had, and I had said some crazy stuff on Twitter back in 2011 or 12 or whatever it was. And so they brought that up. And so from a very early age, I realized what you put on the internet is going to stay there. So make sure you watch what you say, right? Or watch what you do. Or watch what you upload, right? But long story short, I got transferred to Mary Phillips. It was an alternative school. Shout out to everybody at Mary Phillips. When I went to that school and then, would see my friends from Enloe, they switched up on me. And you got to think, I'm like 17, 18. I'm like, bro, we bragged about everybody who went to the alternative school being cool. But then I go to the alternative school, I'm not cool no more, right? So it is what it is. But I hit rock bottom then. So for me, that helped strengthen my mental at a very early age. So I was never too left or too right, too high or too low about something, because I always knew it would even out, But, excuse me, my man Ricky, on the other hand, he was different. He was much more in tune with his feelings. He didn't really talk crap about nobody. And so when things did happen, things were said, I think it affected him a lot more. I feel like I said a lot of things to him that is just how I talk or how people talk to me. And I realized you can't talk to everybody the same way, right? But at the time, I didn't know this. So we would have a lot of conversations where, it might come off as me spazzing, but I'm just talking real fast and real energetic about it because we had something going, and I felt like he was fucking it up. We had something good going. and I felt like he was fucking it up. And it wasn't all his fault. There were things happening around us that we couldn't control, right? But at the end of the day, um, I could have been much better to Ricky when it came to a lot of the conversations that we had about certain subjects, specifically about partying at 4 and 5 in the morning, because when you party that much, eyes get put on you, and when eyes get put on you, and and you wildin', sometimes the feds are gonna G check you, right? And so we got checked, we were very lucky. We were very lucky. I always talk about luck, ethnic group luck. Like the best type of luck to have is Asian luck and white people luck. Then you got Indian people luck. Then you got black people luck, and then you got Mexican people luck, right? And so we had Asian people luck, but not every black person gets Asian people luck, right? Some black people get Mexican people luck. Shout out to all my essays. I'm not saying all of y'all are unlucky. I'm saying in certain situations, it would suck to be Hispanic because of prejudices and because of legal documentation and things like that. But anyway, that's how I knew Ricky, right? And that was our relationship. And I'm not gonna say that it was all bad. Most of it was good. A lot of it was good. I mean, we was them niggas, man. Like we wasn't like as big as you might want to be when it comes to doing what we was doing, but we had some fun, man. We had a lot of fun, dog. I mean, the females that was with us, y'all can say for sure without a doubt, hanging out with Will and Ricky was fun, right? And those freestyles that we would do, man, it was nuts. And playing Madden. We played Madden for like 8 hours straight. We played Madden in John's room. John sleep on his bed. We playing Madden in his room, man. Like that's just how hard we went. And then once again, we lived in a 4. Then we lived in a 3, and we lived with Jeff. And shout out to Jeff. You know what I'm saying? This was this white boy who went to school. He did his work. He ain't really bother nobody. And when shit hit the fan the way it did, Jeff had an opportunity to do whatever he wanted. Jeff kept it solid. Ricky's girl at the time, shout out Shy. Shy could have did whatever she wanted. She kept it solid. I'm going to use the name Coco. Coco was there with me. She could have said whatever she wanted. She kept it solid. So, I just want to say on behalf of me and Ricky, I appreciate all of y'all for keeping it solid because, y'all could have said something and my life would be different. His life would be different. But long story short, I used to tell Ricky, in order for one of us to be successful, there's got to be a lot of people that fail, right? So in order for one person to be successful, to me, there's got to be 1,000 people that aren't successful, right? So if one person is a millionaire, that means there's going to be 1,000 people that aren't a millionaire. And I'm sure that number is much bigger. I'm just using that figure for context. So I would have these conversations with bruh, and, I feel like I could have said things in a better way to make him understand. But for me, if somebody tells me that, that's how I get it because I'm a numbers person. And so maybe I should have done better to tell him in a way that he would understand. But once again, I hit rock bottom in high school. I feel like Ricky hit rock bottom, and it's not my place to speak on it. But it's happened, and it happens all the time, so I just want to say it. Ricky hit rock bottom, I believe, or the beginning of it was truly when he was told that a child was not his. And that happens all the time, man. When people aren't together, when people aren't committed to each other, we look for outside sources, right? We look for outside comfort, outside feeling. Sometimes we just want to hit something. Sometimes we want someone to hit it. You feel me? I'm talking from a female perspective. And so and at the time I did, but now I don't judge or blame what happened. to Ricky and to the female that was involved because one, it's none of my business, but two, it happens every day. And if they weren't together and if they were messing around with other people, there's a chance that that could happen. And so it just it's just tough. It's a tough pill to swallow to know that you was with somebody for 9 months and saw their belly grow and saw life come into them, and to see that life and to know that that life is not a part of your lineage. That hurts. That'll hurt any man. And Ricky was a real man, so it really hurt him. Um, and also he had other issues. I'm not sure what they were, but they were mental. Um, and he had done some things also that put him in a bind, right? And so, long story short, we got into a dispute over the quality of him doing business. I'll put it like that. And I told him that I taught you better, and I don't think he took that out well. I could have been better. What I really should have said was go get your money, bruh, but I didn't. And maybe I wasn't in the right space, the right place to judge him because who am I, man? I done did a lot myself that has not been good. But we didn't really talk like that. We had seen each other after, and I saw a video that is really hurtful to see. And long story short, my man took the medication that he was given by a doctor, and he took the medication, and he didn't wake up. And I got a call from Shorty, and she was calling me, and she was like, he gone. And I saw my mom lose both her parents. I was at my friend's house playing the Nintendo GameCube. My mom said, come home. And it was raining. It was thundering. So I'm walking, jogging, sprinting home, and my pop was gone. And then my grandmother had cancer, and I got kicked out of school, and I was taking care of her. And at the time, for every dollar I got from her, my brother would get $2 to $3. But now I know why. Because I had another grandmother who gave me $1, $2 here. And so my grandma was just trying to even it out. And my father's side of the family probably wasn't the nicest, right? So maybe there's a little spite there. I don't blame my grandmother. I don't know. I never asked her. I'll ask her one day, Lord willing. But I saw my mom lose her, and I took care of her. I took care of my grandmother when she was sick to the point where when she died, I cried because we had just started being friends. And I thought we were gonna be a good tag team. And when Ricky died, it felt like I lost my grandma again. Because we were just getting back to being cool again. And yeah, that shit hurt. It hurt that somebody that I lived with for so long couldn't reach out to me. And I know other people have lost people to suicide and opioids. And I wasn't there, but I understand your pain. Because that shit hurt. That shit hurt. So I think we need to start having these conversations. We need to start talking about mental health. We need to stop killing each other. Because once we die, we don't come back. We can get tattoos. We can put each other on a shirt. We can put each other in a song. But that don't mean shit because we will never see each other again. And so I hope that all parties involved, whether you're on the side of somebody dying or on the side of it was somebody that you knew or your family member that committed the crime that ended someone's life, I hope we can all start having conversations and finding closure because life's too short to be killed. Life's too short to have our lives taken. and Ricky was a beautiful person. Rob was a beautiful person. Polo was a beautiful person, and their life was cut short. And if you're an older sibling and you feel like your younger sibling may be going down the wrong path, show them this video. Tell them, hey man, sit down and watch this and tell me what he said. I hope that this saves lives. I hope that this starts the conversations that I feel like Biggie and Tupac would have had if they had lasted this long, to our community, about how life is too short to be beefing with people that look like you. And once again, man, when somebody dies, somebody cries. But when somebody's killed, another person pays that bill. It's usually mentally, it's usually financially, and a lot of times to our elders, it becomes a physical burden. And so I hope that this stops us from dying, because way too many young black men and young black women are dying over senseless acts of violence. And I'm not saying don't fight. If you need to duke it out, duke it out. You know, we used to go to the bathroom. It'd be you, your two, me, my two. We go to the bathroom, we do our thing. But we got to go home. And that's the goal, man. The goal is to leave the house and to be able to come back to the house. And I just want to say, nobody should die at 16 in the summer. Nobody should be killed over an argument. Nobody should have to take their life, because all of you are loved. All of you are loved. That's all I got for today. Rest in peace, Polo. Rest in peace, Hot Rod. Rest in peace, Rick with the stick. This is WAM, and you have watched Business Music Finance. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you very soon. Deuces.